Hey everyone, well, everything's fine. So in this video, basically, I'm talking about an interesting comment that was posted on my last video, and I thought, well, that's interesting that this person's experienced what they're experiencing in today's market and trying to hire someone, and I thought maybe I should explain or why or whatever, but it's an interesting comment, so I wanted to just follow up. So let me share my screen. I go to the video. So it was in, oh, look at that pose. It was, yeah, from Andy McAdam. So I'll just read this here. So being trying to hire a junior to mid-level DevOps engineer at work, people are asking for over 50K with only a year's experience. It's insane. And I thought, yeah, it is insane. And we live in an insane world and insane times. And I thought, well, let me help explore why. The other comment I got here for everyone, yeah, go up 7%, or no, it's not. That'll be insane. Yeah, John Doe was right. And as I said, I'm not expert on the eToro thing yet. I thought it was 7%, but it's actually 1.36. So, if you've invested goal and you expect a return on my video, do apologize. But I did say it, I'm not. Anyway, that's by the by. Point being is this comment: why are people with 1 year experience asking for 50 grand or more? Is because that's what the market's going for, and the market's climbing at excruciating rate. But we have to try to see it is that the tooling for DevOps alone, learning cloud, and implementing all this stuff in cloud technology is a big ask. It's not only is it a big ask, it's just it depends on the caliber of person who you're hiring to get the job done and get it job done right. And because it's very few and far between to hire people in today's market who've got the relevant experience, but when they do have the experience, they want to ask for the money. And they're asking for the money for one or two reasons, or many reasons. But the main reason is because they know that if you hire them for 40 grand, they know that the market in 6 to 12 months is going to be asking for 60, 70 grand later on, because there's a skill shortage. There's not only a skill shortage for cloud technology or any information technology, there is a skill shortage in England at the moment for trade of carpentry, ironing, welding, mechanics, everything of the sort. It is just going through the roof. But that's by the by. So let's see it as in terms of why would somebody who's got 1 year's experience ask for that 50 grand? Is because, in my opinion, they've mastered the basics of what is CI/CD, how to use a tooling, how to do infrastructure as code, how to deploy within AWS Azure, understanding the networking. The ask of a DevOps person is so heavy. Not only that, let's say, for example, do we really want to be calling people, junior, mid-level, senior? Is that really the case? Because in my opinion is that if a junior person is capable of doing what a mid-level is doing within a month, are you going to promote them and then pay them the money? Well, you're not really. And what happens if they go from junior to mid to then senior? Are you really going to pay them that money? What does that mean? How do you calibrate a person to say that you fit into this slot? That's the hard thing. I don't think we can, because this technology, this industry is so fluid now that, just in the other videos of what I posted, you really want to try and is where people slot in is the technology stack of interest, not cloud technology stack. Well, are you infrastructure? Well, I expect you to automate the infrastructure deployment, using infrastructure as code and, knowing Terraform, ARM template, what have you. But do you hire a junior person in that? No, it just doesn't make sense, because that person can catch up with the other staff because it's cross-pollinated, learning that you actually have within Agile and Scrum. It's not really a good way of actually maneuvering or structuring your hiring structure, in my honest opinion. The other thing is that, you've got not only infrastructure, you've got security, you've got data, you've got networking, you've got, what else you got? You got big data, IoT, it just keeps slothing in like that. So it's just like, does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense to hire someone like that. And do you hire someone for years experience? I wouldn't. Who are you really hiring at the end of the day? Now, I'm not trying to get hard on, sorry, pun. I'm not trying to become hard on the words on, oh, that's even worse. Anyway, you know what I mean. The point being is that I'm not trying to come down a ton of bricks. Now I see why that means they're on Andy McAdam, is because you really want to hire someone who's got the personality type of what you're trying to attract. Is that person going to learn? Is that person going to be loyal and be around with you in your team for a year or more? That's where the hiring becomes really important. So what do I do for my business, or what do I do for my clients? Is really simple. What I do for my clients, what I do for the businesses, is that I try to find them a caliber person who has the ability of learning and who is interested in technology and wish to implement that and be with the team as long as they can. And in all honesty, we hire people like that who've probably got a year to 2 years experience or understanding of the tooling, meaning the principles of what CI/CD is. We pay them $75,000 at the start. Now, you must be saying, Jude, I really hope you delete this video because I don't want to pay somebody $75,000. I'm trying to pay somebody $50,000. Well, what it is that we have to ask ourselves, right? What are we really achieving? Are we trying to grow a team, or we just need somebody to do the work? Because if we just need somebody to do the work, why don't we just hire someone fully remote? Because instead of actually constricting yourself to your borough, your county, let's say, like if you just hire people in London, trying to find someone who wants to work in DevOps at $50,000 in London is few and far between. You will find someone, but I can almost guarantee you they won't be there for 6 months or more. Seeing it happen. I've seen people get hired 6 months, master the technology, and go, right, I know I could double this and move on. And they have. So if you do fully remote, you ask for the person to come into the office once a month to be able to have like some sort of, I don't know, roadmap exercise or training or something like that, or getting to know the team, then that would work. But remote will probably, full remote within the UK will help you, find someone of that pay bracket. Okay, so let's say, for example, well, that's not the case. I want to be able to hire someone and have, growing the team. This is the price bracket that I have. What do I do? So you can simplify your technology. If you've got a popular technology base, meaning you're hiring someone who knows cloud, whether it's Azure or AWS. Google Cloud is not that popular at the moment, but when it is becoming. But if you hire someone who your technology stack is Azure or AWS, then your pool of people that you can actually find is quite broad. But let's go, for example, Jenkins or Azure DevOps. So if I hire someone for Jenkins, that person, I'm not finding many places with Jenkins. I'm just finding a lot of places with Azure DevOps because it's quick to implement. You don't need to like have it on a server technology and stuff like that. Anyway, the point being is that one is more popular than the other because one is easier to implement than the other. Point being is that more popular one is more likely you're going to find people who are actually doing that stack, right? So if your stack of technology is quite broad and it's more popular and is widely used, then it's likely that you will find someone that you can hire that. Sorry, I'm being called on Slack. So that's what I'll probably do. That's what I've done for a client. You know, they were looking to, they had all sorts of Jenkins, Octopus deploy. They had a mix of cloud of and on-prem. And it's just like, well, you got too much going on. You know, you've got one group who's deploying using Azure DevOps, the other group who's deployed doing Jenkins, another player who's doing implementation using Octopus deploy. Let's just simplify it. Now, Azure DevOps has not become very, you know, it's being deprecated. It's slow to get releases and stuff like that. Let's go to GitHub and simplify everything and get everything going is one of the projects I'm on. But the point being is this: if your technology is simple, that means and easy, the audience of who you are trying to attract is quite small. But let's simply go for this and let's get into mindset. If we want to understand why people are getting 50 grand or asking for 50 grand when it comes to years experience, is again, their mindset of what they're doing. So they go to a job serve or a job site, you can see my screen. So let me get the old glasses down. And what will happen is that they will go, okay, I'm looking, let's say, for example, Andy's looking for someone to do DevOps platform, you know, or platform engineering, AWS or Azure. And you can see right here from the get-go on the market, 45K to 80 grand. It's kind of hard to ignore. This is what people are seeing. And this is the ask, you know, ideal candidate for Azure DevOps. We are more interested in people who understand them methodically, I can't pronounce that, but you can read and fundamentals rather than specific tools. Do you see that? These people know that if you understand the principles of the technology, you are interested in candidate. And that's what's happening, because these guys are actually hiring for the right reasons. They want the mindset of the person, not necessarily for the ranking. Are you mid? Are you junior, mid, or senior? And they're willing to reward you for that. I'm just skimming this. I didn't read this properly, but you know, that's the principles. Let's now go for someone who's going, well, why should I stick around for permanent work? What does contract have to offer? And Azure DevOps, right? And I'm just going to hit the first one. Okay, which one? High, low. You should never look for jobs not stating this is one of my things, not stating the price. Well, I mean, look at this, 700 to 750 inside R35, Azure DevOps. Fully remote, 600, 610, Azure DevOps infrastructure plus limited. Well, let's go for this one. If I look at this and I look at the technology stack, you know, it's okay, knowledge of the third-party security products, not even experience, but knowledge. Trying to find something lower than that. SRE 5. Okay, well, I mean, say even look at this. This is asking for specific technology, but you know, the thing is, and let's be honest, any manager gives a wish list as to technology they're trying to attract. You see a list as long as your arm of the things they're asking for: Jenkins, DevOps, CI/CD, Octopus deploy, GitHub, GitLab, Bash, Python, and the list just you know keeps going on like a bad recipe, doesn't it? And they'll say, yeah, we want to give this guy £500 a day, 600. And it's like, I apply for that job and I can more or less guarantee that when I get into that job, 20% of what you asked for is what I'm going to use or implement or touch. Why? Because they're looking for a unicorn. It doesn't exist, guys. You know, if you find one, I don't know. If you're not paying £1,000 a day for that person, they ain't gonna be wrong for long. So anyway, I hope this makes sense. I hope that you see what it is. There's two sides to the coin. One is the person who's hiring and how to actually align yourself better. You want to align yourself for the right candidate, not for necessarily the right position. And I hope that you see that when you actually hire someone with the mindset of what they see on today's market, asking for 50 grand is a goer. You gotta ask yourself what it is that you're trying to achieve. And that's it. I hope I've helped. I hope that you can see from the insight of what it is that, how to hire people. I hope that you can see where the market's going. It, DevOps is a stressful job, man. Anyone who's trying to get into this, the amount of shit you have to learn is it's unbelievable. The amount of books that you have to read and stuff like that is renowned, and it's like it's relentless. But if you hire someone who's quick to learn, understand the basics, understand the facts, that's the person you really want. Hope I've helped. See you soon.